Some people say you should create ads. Some say you should create VSLs or newsletters or any kind of marketing lead magnets, or even, I hate this one, create more content, provide value. And the problem there is that you've tried all of these. You've lost time, you've lost money, you've lost energy, you've lost motivation, you've kind of lost a little hope. I know, I've been there, believe me. And worst of all, you're left feeling kind of gross and salesy without any predictable way to bring these leads in the door. Now, today I'm going to teach you the 5-step process that I teach all of my coaching clients to grow a predictable lead generation activity. It's a nice way of saying something you can do that will actually, guaranteed, bring people in the door. How do I know? Because it's the same method that I've used to bring 5 clients in a single day, as well as my clients have used to bring in a couple of clients themselves. And they bring in quality clients, people who are committed to change, who want to spend, and more importantly, they don't feel like shit and feel gross and salesy doing it. Sound good? Let's get into it. Now, before we get too deep into this, there's 2 core questions that I hear coaches ask again and again. And I know they're circling the drain of your own mind right now because they were constantly circling mine. The first question is, why am I not attracting the right coaching clients in the first place? And the second one is, why do people sound like they're interested but then never actually sign up? So, question numero uno. Why am I not attracting the right coaching clients in the first place? If you're getting inquiries from people who are tire kicking, asking for free advice, they're not really serious, or they're just they can't afford coaching. You get all the way through, they can't afford coaching. Your issue is not that you're not bringing in the right clients, it's that your messaging is attracting the wrong clients in the first place. It's like creating or hosting a party for just your friends and family, and you want all of your family and friends to show up, but then you've got a giant neon sign outside that says, hey, everyone's welcome. You wonder why you get this constant stream of randos walking in the door for your party. Worse, you could be sending out the wrong message entirely. When I was doing career and life coaching, I was saying, hey, I help with stress and I defeat burnout and I do all these great things. But I wasn't getting any of the ideal clients that I really wanted. Why? Because the reason they were stressed and burnt out is because they didn't identify with someone who was stressed or needed that help. So it was mixed messaging. So you got to make sure that your messaging is speaking specifically to people that are in a state of change, they're in a state of readiness to change, and you're speaking to the symptoms that they identify with. Everyone else is just looking for free advice. Now, the second question, and this one is possibly the most important question you should ask yourself about any client interaction ever. Número dos, why do people seem interested but not go ahead? There's lots of reasons for this, but the most prominent one is that you have picked a client that is in a different point of their journey. You see, people take action when the pain of staying the same is greater than the cost or the pain of making incredible change. Now, your job in your marketing and your way to correct this is to make the pain of an action visible to them, transparent to them. They need to understand that the cost of an action is going to cost them more. Most clients or potential clients believe that they're ready for change. They love the idea of change. When they're greeted with discomfort, fear, and potential investment, they hesitate, they freeze, because that pain of staying the same is not yet high enough. It's like picking a really great YouTube thumbnail. You're like, damn, this seems so interesting to me. You click on it, it loads up, you start watching, and immediately it's obvious that it was clickbait, or it's the wrong messaging, or it lands for a point in your journey that you don't necessarily resonate with. And the reason that sucks is because you've suddenly lost interest. Your messaging is exactly the same. The way you bring clients in is exactly the same. You need to appeal to people that are ready and committed to that point of change. So now that we've got that covered, here is the step-by-step method that's going to attract quality coaching clients that are committed to change and are ready to invest in their journey with you. And the secret sauce behind this is we're going to deliver a paid workshop. Not a VSL, not a webinar, not marketing fluff or wank or any of the other bullshit that just kind of sells you on it and then tries to go through a 10-step process to convert you. A paid, high-impact workshop. And you can deliver this in person or remotely. I'm going to give you the framework today. The method stands for both. Ready? Let's jump into it. Okay, so step 1. Very clearly, identify the right kind of content for your workshop. This one is an incredibly important step. If you get nothing else done and you just deal with getting this right first, you're on the right path. You will immediately start converting people. The ideal content for a workshop, it solves a clear and pressing problem. It avoids overwhelm. It tries to keep it very simple. People need to be able to digest this. We've all been to those webinars or workshops where you're overloaded and you miss half of it. Keep it concise. Do one thing very, very well and impactfully. Give them a tangible result. They need to be able to walk away with this with something. Be that a tool, a framework, a mindset shift, an insight, some kind of core thing that drives them forward on their journey. They need to be able to reference that later and think, holy shit, that was fantastic. And most importantly, you need to help them understand that they can go deeper with you later on, right? This is step one on a journey, or one cog in a big machine. Be sure to pick a topic that is functional, impactful, and it also helps them realize that there's a much bigger game at play. This is part of the pre-framing and psychology of it. Now, some simple questions I like to offer people to work through this, right? What is the number one frustration that my clients have and they're suffering from right now? Spoiler, my clients need leads. Welcome to the meta of this workshop. The only difference is you didn't pay for this one, so welcome. It's very similar to what my paid clients pay for. What is the first step they need to take to solve it? What is that first baby step that they need to move towards their journey of resolution? In my case, this looks like people need to be able to predictably, fuck, I was right. In my case, clients need to be able to predictably generate leads. They need to know what the numbers are. They need to know how they can scale it. All those kinds of things increase confidence and reduce risk. Again, this is why we're here. And what is one small but meaningful win I can give them in 90 minutes? Well, this I'm hoping to be about 15 to 20 minutes tops. And if you can walk away and get one paid client from this, well, then that's a fucking great return on 20 minutes of your time, isn't it? I'll give you some examples. Career coaches, how to land a high-paying job in 60 days without submitting 100 applications. Mindset coaches, how to stop self-doubt from holding you back or rewire your confidence to nail those interviews. Executive coaches, the 3-step leadership system for fast-tracking your promotion. They need to be very basic, very concise, and very tangible. Now, why is it so important we get this right? Well, it focuses on a clear outcome. Client desire goes up. Remember that qualification on them on their journey. They want that. They want to buy into it. They're increasing that value. It creates curiosity. It creates urgency. They can then frame their own world in relation to the outcome of this workshop. Do I have the clients I need? Is there a reason I don't have predictability? Maybe I do need a 3-step system. And it attracts people who are already looking for a solution. Without going too much into it, you are symptom aware, you are problem aware, you are solution aware. We want the solution aware. They are the ones that are at the change point in their journey. They're ready, they're committed, and they're showing up with money. So the next step then is very logically, who is our right audience? A workshop will only be successful if the right people attend it. Let me say that again. A workshop will only be successful if the right people attend it. You are not looking to get 100% conversion, but you are looking to fill a room with people who are ready to convert. So then, who are the right audience? People who are problem aware and they are now looking for a solution. We're ideally looking for those who are all ready to invest in their own growth. And we're looking for people who are action oriented, action biased. They're not looking for free advice. They're not just putting it in the shelf help pile. And how do we do this? Very, very simple. We charge a small amount. That's it. There is no secret sorcery here. We charge a small amount. And when we charge a small amount, we actually filter for these exact type of people. Doesn't matter if it's small or large. The higher, obviously, the less people, but the more committed. A low cost is more than enough to shake this out of a lot of people. So where can we find them? Very simple. LinkedIn or Facebook groups. Find established groups that have been around for a while. They're not just filled with spam and copywriters. You know what I'm talking about. You can get referrals from past clients. Hey, who do you know that this might work for? Is there someone specifically at this point of their journey that needs this help? You can look at networking or business events. Networking or business events are so underrated for referrals like this. In fact, the vast majority of those events, if you go and say you have this workshop, you're going to get a bunch of people transferring over. They've already demonstrated that intent. They're pre-filtered. The last one, and I love this, and I snoozed on it for way too long. Email lists or warm audiences, right? Reach out to your social groups, reach out to your mailing lists, do a couple of day campaign on your emailing list to say, hey, this is coming up. This is what I want. Your feedback said, I want A, B, and C. I've gone through this one pretty quick because this is the same as trying to find leads anywhere. The only difference is you have something far more desirable with less risk, less resistance, and it's much easier to get people in the door on it. Don't worry about converting them to a client right now. The goal is to get them in the room. Now, this works because it filters out those freebie seekers and the tire kickers. Even if you charge something nominal like $20 to $50 or even $10, it's going to drop that by 70 or 80% immediately. Very rarely does anyone spend a small amount of money but still not really act on it. It doesn't matter how much money you make, there's a constant bias playing where they have to maximize that value, right? This is the secret sorcery of it. It also creates a pool of potential high ticket clients that have already demonstrated and shown interest. If someone has to swipe a credit card just to transact with you, it's very easy for their brain to make that step again. This is a trust multiplying activity, even at a small level. I mean it. And it immediately increases your authority because it positions you as an expert. You are literally showing them how capable you are. It's a fantastic shortcut for trust and authority. Now, step 3. I hear you. At this point, you're like, this sounds fantastic, but how do I actually do this? And I've helped so many coaches develop this plan. It's very simple. It's very concise. Often when we build something like this, our biggest headache is mostly logistics. Like, what is the right format? How do I deliver this? So what I've done is I've created a framework for you, right? Feel free to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to run you through it now. This is where the masterclass in authority and trust is really built. So we have to make sure that we're pacing this in a way that feels professional, in a way that delivers the impact we want, but also serves our business goals. Remember, we are running a business while delivering impact. The workshop itself needs to be engaging, exciting. You don't have to put on a pretense. Be you. Please don't fucking create a presentation mode version of you. Be you. People need to resonate with you. It needs to be results driven, structured to naturally lead people into working with you further. Remember the point at the start where I said it needs to be a small piece of a much wider puzzle? We're going to build that into the workshop itself. So there's a 6-step process for this, right? Or a 6-phase workshop format that I really love. The first one is the welcoming and positioning, right? This is where we're going to set the tone, let them know what they walk away with, what they're going to get at the end. It's what I'm pre-framing. Think of it like a YouTube video. It's the big promise at the start. And we're quickly going to share why we're qualified to teach on this topic. It doesn't have to be massive. And here's one of the questions I get. What if I don't have anything? Well, that's a lie. Your first greatest transformation is typically yourself. Talk to your own story if you have nothing else available. If you have some client testimonials, pop those up. If you have a case study, use those. And if you are stuck on all of that, share how much time, effort, and research you've studied on several topics. If you say, I've done 400 hours research on this topic, and this is why I'm able to teach it to you, people will still add value to that. So there is always a layer in which you could do this. This is a big scary for a lot of coaches. Try those options, and if none of them work, hit me up and I'll find something for you. I promise. It's there. Step 2 is the transformational shift, and this is absolutely integral because this is where you help them see their problem differently. You are shifting their perspective. You want them to see and realize what's holding them back from getting the result they want. One I like to offer for my clients is very simply, what do you believe the chance of success is of your business? And then I show them industry averages. And then I say, well, why do you think there's such a shift there? And I help them understand the dip and the fact that there is a gap between they have unrealistic optimism and then when reality hits, it goes to shit, right? Boom. Immediately I can shake the foundation of where they believe they're at and go, but this is actually how you move through it. It really helps to use a story or a metaphor. You'll note that I give a lot of references, a lot of examples. Do this as much as possible in your workshop and it will be 10 times as impactful. Don't just give information. We thrive on story. We thrive on similarity. You must establish that connection through story, metaphor, example, anything like that, right? We then step into the meat of this, the actual training. And when I say training, I don't mean like, here is step 1, go do step 2. Step 3 is, that's dry. It's terrible. Teach a simplified framework that they can implement fast. Overly simplify this as though you were teaching it to children. And that's not to be condescending. It is specifically so that they can take it and immediately apply it. The speed of application is the speed at which they come back to you. Trust me, even if this is them going and getting money or going and getting and delivering a small version of the role of the function that you serve people with, even helping you get clients. I'm teaching you to do this now. You don't need me after this. But if you like this, you're probably going to come back and be like, that motherfucker knows some shit. That's what we're aiming for here. Focus on one powerful concept in this training. 30 to 45 minutes should be more than enough for one strong, powerful, high impact concept taught well. This is one of the most important parts. Deliver a quick win inside the session with you. They have to experience that shift inside the session. This could be an insight. This could be a very quick takeaway. This could be them being challenged to think, shit, what's my first client right now that could probably enjoy a workshop like this? Or how could I create a workshop like this for my clients? There is a quick win baked in everywhere. Figure out what that is, give it to them as fast as possible, and you will have them on the hook. I like to put in a section, you can skip this if you like, but I find it delivers significantly more chance of success out the other end, that I call guided implementation. This is where we walk through a live example. It's where we do a live demo of using it in action. Or for a lot of the coaches out there, this might be hot seat coaching. This might be you coaching them live. For business coaches, and yes, I have business coaches that are clients, which is crazy meta for me, I know, but I help them do what I do for people. Hey, where are you struggling right now? Where is your lead flow struggling? Where is your sales process struggling? Where is your offer struggling? Let's live fire it now. And everyone else around you can see it in action. This is the authority supercharger. If you have to cut time, you might want to do it here, but I implore you to try and make time for this step. If it's scary, I get it. It's fucking terrifying sometimes. Absolutely. But this will absolutely build authority faster than anything else you do. So Q&A and wrap up is the final one, and it's very important that we allow a time for Q&A. I like to mix guided implementation and Q&A together, but that's completely up to you in the way you run your practice and the way you want to run your workshops. I love to mix them because live firing questions is the greatest authority of implementation. It's just a nice, easy way to save time. Try it if you're comfortable. If not, that's fine. Split them into 2 separate sections. But the important point is that there is an invitation to go deeper. We want to share the next natural steps. We don't want to spend 20 minutes selling on this. We want to say, hey, this was fantastic. This is where we go. Here's the 4 or 5 things that we can do after this. If you're interested, let's have a chat. Stop overthinking it. It can be that simple. There doesn't need to be a sales pitch. There doesn't need to be a mini VSL or some kind of bullshit funnel that they then have to step into. Make it easy, make it obvious, make it natural, and it will flow very, very easily after Q&A. I also like to try and bring that in before Q&A because I dislike the lack of integrity around going, okay, I've done all this, my value equation and reciprocity is super high. Now, no, I like to go, look, here's how we can progress. You can contact me below. You can jump on my lead magnet, which will give you lots of these tools. And you can contact me here at this link. Details are in the chat. Now, Q&A, let's open it up. Right? And it lets people go away on a high. They have the option at all times. It's way more in integrity. Find a balance of integrity that fits you. Now, this works so powerfully. You are building value, you are sharing insight, you are building trust, and you're allowing for expansion. You're opening the door for expansion rather than forcing it down their throats, which is why this method feels so much more in integrity than a lot of other coaching methods or a lot of other lead generation methods. The interactive experience shows what coaching with you is actually like when they're in an engagement and investing with you. It's kind of like the test drive of the car without all the forced overhead. Now, ensuring there's a serious invitation at the end allows people that are willing to ascend and do the work. They are committed and bought into the change, pre-sell themselves before they speak to you. So when you're actually getting on a call or an engagement afterwards, it is so much easier to close these people. It's like when you go really deep on a YouTube rabbit hole. You've been immersed in their world for so long, you're almost frothing at the mouth waiting for it, right? You're like, I like this person, they've demonstrated their shit, I can't wait to get my hands on my delicious transformational change, give it to me, give it to me. And that's very much what we're looking to get out of this workshop. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I maximize, how do I make the most out of this? And that's where step 4 comes in. It's about maximizing the long-term sales, the long-term effect of each of these workshops. You can run many of these. Offer a simple next step. If you reduce the friction, instead of a hard sell, have a private strategy call, have jumping in and doing a 15-minute audit for you. Make something extremely low friction. The next step must be easy. The more friction we add here, don't make them jump in a discovery call and a 90-minute fucking deep dive set. All this is too much. It's scary. Make the next step easy and people will take it. If you reduce resistance, people will take it. It really is that simple. Follow up immediately, right? And I mean this immediately. Right after the workshop, you're going to send out a summary, ideally a video if you can, depending on your recording software, send an AI transcript or a pre-prepared series of notes. Something to get back in their inbox or back in their contact method as fast as possible. Post-workshop email sequence is really good. Something to reinforce the value of the workshop itself, the outcome of the workshop, and remind them of the next logical steps in their journey. I like to use scarcity and urgency, but in an authentic way. And hear me out. I like to offer a limited time bonus, a 48-hour discount, a drastic reduction in one of my packages or programs that is only applicable to the people that have taken the action bias of showing up to this workshop. Again, back to the original questions. How do we get those action bias people? Incentivize them. Spend money and incentivize them. You want them, you'll get them. It's that simple. And finally, build long-term relationships. Every coaching client acquisition is what we call a long tail game. Get them on a mailing list as fast as humanly possible. I promise you this will be worth it. You can nurture them over time. They will go on that mailing list with a higher degree of trust and authority. They might not be ready to buy right now, and that's okay, but you have started them on the journey to making you the one they want to buy from when they're ready. The reason this works so well is because it lets serious clients self-select. There is no push, there is no pressure. It lets them go, you know what, I'm ready to escalate my game. I'm ready to step into this. I am ready to take that change. Remember the original questions again. This is what we're guiding around. Now, it captures warm leads, or what I like to call better fit offer potential. And what I mean by that is sometimes you have clients you really want to work with. They're fantastic, but it is simply beyond them to afford your primary package. That's okay. If they're in your email list, you can position better offers that are designed for them later on. You do have multiple offers, right? But outside that, it keeps nurturing them. It keeps warming them up. They may not be ready. Their risk aversion might be high. They might be naturally skittish, or they need to talk to people first. It is so impactful to take your time to make sure that they are ready. And it creates a scalable way to bring in premium clients, and it can be adjusted up, it can be adjusted down, and it makes the most efficient use of your time. You plan one of these once and you iterate it on a few times, you never have to plan it again. This is all high leverage time investment. You can record it and make it go evergreen, but I'm going to jump into that in a sec. So repeating, this one's a bonus. If you've stuck all the way through, you do 1 to 4, these are the things that are going to make it go like this. Right? You can test different topics, you can test different lengths, different outcomes. You need to dabble, you need to find what that big pain point is that the most people resonate with and lean in there. So feel free to play with these. Offer a range of workshops. Do them periodically. I like to. I do them in person frequently, once a month at least. You have to find what works best and then double down on it. Do more about that. Different angles, different takes, different inflections. You can refine your messaging based on audience feedback. So this is about how do we get people in as fast as possible. You can change your ad campaigns. Yes, you can run ad campaigns to this. You can adapt all of your content to then focus on bringing people into the workshops. You don't have to worry about generalized content now. You just have to sell them on the idea of a $10 workshop. So much easier. Sell them on the benefits, sell them on what people get out of it. Everything else is education through the workshop itself. You can then automate this process. So once you know what lands for clients that delivers the most impact, once you know the messaging that resonates with them, you can record these and they then become digital assets in and of themselves. You can do limited runs, constant, evergreen, whatever you want. You can record it and replay it as needed and then be live for Q&A sessions if you choose to. It is such a high leverage use of your time. When you're ready to scale the workshop mentality, you can then build funnels. It brings interested parties in, you can run paid ads. It becomes what's called or known in the biz as a self-liquidating offer. So the idea is that just the workshop itself pays for the ad spend, which is enough to bring new eyeballs in for effectively free, right? This is the secret sorcery of it. There is so much you could do here, and I could spend all day talking with you on it or run a workshop on it. Now look, right now you're probably sitting at a point of indecision. And I encourage you to take action on this, even with a small group, a small audience. Really lean into it, all right? This is insanely powerful. This will absolutely take you to 5- and 6-figure months if you do nothing else above it. Now, if you want to know how to close these guys once you get them on a call, be on the lookout for that afterwards. Now, getting quality clients is awesome. But if you want to charge enough to live your dream life, check this next video where I walk you through step by step how to create an offer that lands and pays you well while you do it.